It's Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, 5:30 p.m. I want to welcome everybody to the regular City Council meeting for the City of Donna. Roll call.
Yes, sir. All members are present with the exception of Councilman J.C. Jackson. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Now I ask everybody to please join us in, this is prayer and then pledge.
Okay. Let's bow our heads. God, thank you for being here safely. Ask a blessing everyone here. Ask that you would look over those in our community, Lord, that may be dealing with the storm right now. That they would be careful on the streets, that you would be with them and be with our first responders that might have to respond to an accident or two. Ask a blessing everyone here, Lord. And please will give your wisdom to the council here, Lord, that we can continue to prosper this city. Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Join us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike. We go to letter D. We go to letter D, mayoral recognition. Number 1, presentation of executed resolution for the City of Donna Day at the Capitol by Representative Armando Mando Martinez's office. This evening, we're not only, or this afternoon, we're not only privileged and honored to have somebody from, a representative from his office. We actually have the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, Mr. Mando Martinez. And I tell everybody, believe me, every time we go to Austin, and it's been a couple of times, you always receive us, with hands wide open. Your door is always open. You always make time for us, regardless of what's going on. So truly, truly appreciate that. The community here of Donna appreciates your service to this region, to this area that you represent, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Manager and Commissioners. What an honor to be here this evening, especially to present you with this official resolution for Donna Day. But let me tell you, I don't think there's ever been a city commission in Donna as dedicated as you all. And Mayor, you and these great gentlemen and ladies from the great city of Donna have done a tremendous job. The times that you all went up and you worked and you were dedicated on doing what's right for Donna, let me tell you, those voices were heard. And like I told you and like I've told everybody that's here in Donna, that office is yours. You all elected me to represent you, but you don't only have the city here in Donna, you don't only have City Hall here in Donna, you have your own office at the Capitol. And that's why we always welcome you and we honored you because of the fact that you all work so hard. As you can see right now with the rain and things that are going on, a lot of questions were unanswered at the beginning of our legislative session, but because you all were up there making your voices heard, talking about the issues that are important for the residents of Donna, you actually did make a big difference. And with that, on Donna Day, we presented you with an official resolution, and if you don't mind, I want to read it so that all the residents of Donna, because of your hard work and your dedication, Mayor and Commission, I am so proud to present this to you. And it reads as follows: whereas proud residents of the City of Donna are gathering in Austin on April 10th, 2025 to celebrate Donna Day at the state capitol. Whereas situated in the heart of the Rio Grande Valley, Donna is located in the land that was bequeathed to the Lino Cavazos by the Mexican state of Tamaulipas in 1834. And members of the Cavazos family continued to live in the area over the ensuing decades. Settlers from northern states began arriving at the turn of the 20th century. Among them was Thomas Jefferson Hooks, who helped found the La Blanca Agricultural Company, which purchased 23,000 acres of land, and the town was founded in 1904. 3 years later, the community was named in honor of Donna Hooks Fletcher, the daughter of Mr. Hooks, and whereas Donna was incorporated in 1908, the same year that its post office was established and its first store and sugar mill were constructed by 1915, and the town had a population of 1,500 residents, and in the decades that followed, it continued to develop into a major hub for vegetable and citrus crops. And whereas today Donna is home to more than 16,000 people, its economy is bolstered by the retail, educational services, and tourism industries in the addition to the agriculture area youth benefit, and it provides its students with the academic opportunities necessary to build a strong foundation for future success. whereas Donna is connected to the Rio Bravo, Tamaulipas by an international bridge, which I'm proud to represent up in Austin, which receives an average of 60,000 crossings a month. Its location is relatively uncongested portion of the border, allows for efficient travel to and from Mexico, and the officials are pursuing further improvements to port of entry facilities, transportation, and trade. Whereas the citizens of Donna have made many valuable contributions to the culture of the economy of Texas, and they take justifiable pride in the rich heritage and unique amenities that make their city a notable part of the Lone Star State. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives of the 89th Legislature recognize April 10th, 2025 as Donna Day at the State Capitol and extend sincere best wishes and welcome to the visiting delegation signed by the Speaker of the House, Dustin Burrows, Chief of the Clerk House, and myself, your state representative, Armando Mando Martinez. And we also added a picture of us on the dais so everyone can see with the Speaker of the House and our delegation that visited us. So thank you very much. Congratulations, Mayor, Commissioners. And I believe that we also flew a flag for you, Mayor, that you have right up there. And that way you can honorably have this displayed in this wonderful City Hall. And I am proud to represent you. May God bless you, and may God bless Texas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. You want to take a picture? Yeah.
Statement, can we take a picture?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. All out. Make 100. Make 100.
That was a great start. Thank you. Citizen participation? No? Oh, okay. Number three, go to number three, consent agenda. Council, if you have any questions or comments, if not, I need a motion.
I motion to approve the second reading of the budget amendment, ordinance number 2025-14.
We have a motion by Commissioner Lugo to approve second reading of budget amendment. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 14, I'm sorry, regular items, number 4, Roman numeral 4, number 3, presentation by Fire Department on Fire Marshal. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, council member, earlier this year I was tasked with bringing in a full-time a fire marshal. We also brought in a code enforcer. In the past, businesses had to wait till 5 o'clock, between 5 and 9, sometimes 10 p.m., just to get their buildings and/or businesses inspected. That was not a good thing for Donna, especially with a community that's growing. So I've mobilized, we met with the chief, we looked at our finances, considering we have a tight budget. We were able to identify the funds, and I'm proud to announce that we hired one of our own. He's a native of the city of Donna, who's been working. Chief, you want to introduce your fire marshal, your full-time fire marshal?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Peña, we appreciate it. We appreciate council for what y'all done for us. And this time I'd like to introduce a new fire marshal for the city of Donna. David Giannis Jr.
Dave?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, City Manager. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. Of course, how Chief said, my name's David Yanis, Fire Marshal for the City of Donna Fire Department. I was born in Westlaco and a lifelong resident of Donna, Texas. I'm proud son of Pastor David and Hasi Yanis, and proud graduate of Donna ISD class of 2001. My career in the fire service started in 2007 with the Fire Department. Over the years, I have earned associate's degree in fire science along with several certifications as my master firefighter, master certification as a fire investigator, and my master's certification as a fire inspector, among other certifications. In March of 2019, I joined the Donna Fire Department as a volunteer contracted firefighter. My commitment to serving the community led to the full-time position in 2023. Recently, I was hired as a fire marshal for the City of Donna Fire Department. Since my appointment, we have focused on ensuring local businesses comply with fire code regulations. We have also been involved in reviewing renovation and expansion plans for various Donna ISD campuses, a responsibility that carries personal significance as a Donna ISD graduate. We are dedicated to serving the Donna community. Our current initiatives include updating the city fire codes standards from 2015 International Fire Codes to the 2024 edition. Furthermore, we are collaborating with several projects with various city departments. I would like to take this time to thank the Donna Fire Department, Fire Chief David Simmons, Assistant Fire Chief Joey Garcia, for letting me lead the Fire Prevention Division. Mayor, City Councilman, and the City Manager, thank you for the trust. Utmost, I would like to thank my wife, Myra Yanis, my kids, and my family for always supporting me. Thank you.
Mayor, Council, this is, again, another big W for Donna. We now have a full-time fire marshal that's going out there. For community members, you're probably wondering what a fire marshal does. Well, as you're aware, Donna is home to a lot of RV parks, right? We do have some mobile home parks, we do have RV parks, and we do have, unfortunately, at this point, we still have colonias to the outskirts. What the fire marshal does, he goes out there and enforces fire code. Why is that important? Because just not too long ago, one of those mobile homes caught on fire. And, you know, luckily, Chief Simmons, along with Assistant Chief Garcia, responded on time. There was a loss of property, but not a loss of life. And so our fire marshal's here to ensure that all these buildings, all these facilities, all these trailer homes and RV parks are up to par and up to code according to the fire code that's in place right now. And what that does, it promotes safety, and more importantly, it preserves life and property for our community. So I'm excited to see what you're going to do for this community, Mr. Yanis. And let me tell you, man, it's been a good working relationship so far. Mayor, Council, any questions for our new fire marshal?
I'd like to just congratulate Mr. Yanis. I had heard that we had a full-time fire marshal. I had no idea it was Mr. Yanis. I was really happy to see that. But I think Donna was way overdue when it came to fire marshal. And I know firsthand because I've dealt with fire marshals before in my line of business, and I had to wait till after 5 o'clock to be able to conduct business. And that's just me. You can imagine all the businesses in Donna that need that kind of assistance, that to have to wait till after 5 or on a Saturday. You know, it's difficult, but most importantly, we're compromising the safety of our citizens, our businesses here in Donna. So I think now we can actually step up and be proactive like we probably should have been years ago. So thank you for coming on board. Chief Simmons, thank you for doing this for us as well. So I'm really happy. I think Donna's in a lot better position today than it was years ago. So congratulations again.
Chief, and maybe you'll correct me if I'm wrong, is Mr. Yanis the first in the history of Donna to be the...
That is correct. Previously, it was a position held by the fire chief. And so I did the inspections when I could, but it was time that we advanced and of course, we did the 21st century with a new fire marshal who has the knowledge and the experience in this field. Very proud to have him on board.
Just know that your mayor and the council are up here, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for them in the sense that we're very proud of you. You've been here with this fire department for a long time. I've known you. You come from a very proud and respected family here in the community. Want to thank you for, having that, the go to want to better yourself. And in the sense, you're really doing us a benefit, because the benefit that you do to yourself, you're actually doing it here for the city. Just like they mentioned, it's very important that our businesses, that all our facilities are up to code and so forth, and you're going to help us with that, and truly appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. Yanis.
Thank you, Mayor.
Know if anybody else has?
Mayor, may I also add to
Of
that
course.
that he is also going to do our fire investigation for arsons also, and he is certified to do that, so we've had some calls where there's been possible arson involved, and now he has the experience, he's gone to the schools and got certified for them also, so he's going to be a big asset to our community.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Yanis. Appreciate it. You can take a picture with his family.
You want to come over and take a picture with your family? It's history, Mr. Yanis.
Everybody get close, it's cold outside. Huh? Perfect, there you go. Everybody in, closer.
Can we have everybody scoot in the block? A little bit more. Hicimos familiar. If everybody, I can get everybody to look over here. Ready? On 3, 1, 2, 3. Again. There you go. Thank you. Congratulations.
I swear I'm not burning trash.
We go to item number 4, presentation by Planning Director on Code Enforcement. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, council member, again, one of the other tasks that I was tasked with was enforce ordinances, beautify the city, and let's really change the image of our community, right? For a very long time, the city operated with a code enforcement department without code enforcers. This meant people that weren't qualified, certified, or capable and able to enforce a city ordinance. They were no different than a regular citizen. They could report a problem, and that was it. We had no fire marshal, we had no follow-up. Since then, our new planning director, Mr. Adrian Perez, along with the assistance of Assistant Planning Director Jasmine, have brought in a team. We now have a licensed, experienced code enforcer. We also have another one of our own, Eli, who has been working with the planning department, is now under the code enforcement department, getting certified here soon, or doing his preceptorship. Before Mr. Perez gives the update, we always like to justify the moves, right? And I'm proud to announce that one of the moves, because of this program that we have in place, what used to be 100% of weedy lots that was placed on the city's burden, what that means is whenever you see a weedy lot, we send letters to the owners. If they don't cut their yard, then we go out there and we cut it for them and we send them a bill and we attach a lien, right? Having a full code enforcement department, people that are actually gonna take time, make contact and enforce the ordinance. And the idea here is not to fine people, but to communicate what the city has in place. I'm proud to announce that Mr. Perez's efforts along with his team have decreased that burden by 60%. What that means is we can now use our workforce and go and do other things. So, Mr. Adrian Perez is here to give us a quick presentation on what the vision is for the enforcement department. Go ahead, Mr. Perez.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, and city staff. Like I said, my background in code enforcement, I did 3 years at the city of McAllen. I'm still licensed code enforcement officer through TDLR. Like Mr. Pena said, I was fortunate to bring somebody that I've worked with. That's somebody that we go back to McAllen, and he's very good at his job. And so I'm fortunate to bring Mr. Luis Estrada aboard. Eli Garza will be taking a test, hopefully at the end of this month, to get licensed. So that would just help him enforce the ordinances that have been in place and the ones that we worked on to amend and to update moving forward. So I'm going to just give you a brief little presentation of what a code enforcement department is, violations, things like that. And like I said, so bear with me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, code enforcement. What is code enforcement? A lot of people, certain cities have code enforcement or code compliance. I like code compliance because it's more user-friendly, but that's something that we could discuss moving forward. So in this case, either code enforcement department or code compliance. Here we have code enforcement. It's the same thing at the end of the day. So code enforcement, what is code enforcement? Code enforcement is just, officials overseeing ordinances that protect public health, safety, welfare, quality of life, including issues related to property standards, land use, and local ordinances. That's basically what code enforcement is. I mean, it's, like I said, it's just educating people at the end of the day. Why code enforcement matters? It builds community pride, it drives economic development, it protects property values, and it improves quality of life. At the end of the day, like I said, code enforcement is not here to give citations, to be the bad guy. We're here to educate people, to inform them of why the city has ordinances in place. And it's pretty much as simple as that. Our department goals moving forward, it's to ensure public health and safety, to address unsafe structures, unsanitary conditions, fire risks, environmental hazards that are out there. This goes hand in hand with some of the old buildings that we have out there in town. It's to promote compliance, to enforce code standards through education and voluntary cooperation amongst our residents, encourage community engagement, maintain fair and consistent enforcement. This is very important, I feel, is that we have to be very transparent and very uniform across with everybody. Regardless of, people may know people, I believe in fairness. I believe once you allow people to do certain things and people find out, it makes our job a lot harder. So like I said, it's all about being fair, transparent, respectful, and follow what's in place. And lastly, cooperate with other departments in the city. Code enforcement works with building permits, fire, police, animal control. Pretty much most of our departments here, code enforcement plays a hand in helping them out with various issues. The responsibilities of code enforcement officers are to investigate complaints, whether they call them, whether they call any of you guys here, they call, it can come from any place. Usually how it is here, they'll let me know, or I'll get an email, and I'll forward it, or I'll talk to my personnel, and they'll get going with the process. They'll conduct their proper inspections, they'll make contact with the owners. That's the most important thing we do, is try to make contact with our owners, especially for woody lots that are out there. They'll conduct their inspections. They issue notices and citations if they have to. I'm not a big proponent of citations, but it's something that we can do when people simply don't want to, comply with the ordinances. They also enforce compliance. I mean, we could I know in McAllen we had cleanups through the neighborhood. We'd get roll-offs out there, and we'd help clean up the the neighborhood. It's something that we can enforce here with the help of Public Works. Something to consider. Educate and engage the community, which is a very big thing that I believe in, is promoting voluntary compliance through workshops, outreach, or through brochures, flyers, to let them to get that information out there, and mainly to maintain accurate records. This is a very key thing, especially in woody lots, because we're putting liens on people's properties. We need to take pictures, so it's kind of hard to justify putting a lien on a property without that documentation. And that's something that I think that we're improving on moving forward. That's something I'm going to stress very much so, because it's very much needed as far as pictures. Common code enforcement violations, these you'll see in every city, no matter how big or small. These are pretty much the majority of what we deal with. It's like, of course, overgrown woody lots, whether it's residential, or the biggest thing that I see here in Donna is that we have a lot of vacant properties, abandoned homes. Those are our biggest woody lot issues that we face, because a lot of times owners no longer live there, they live somewhere else. We send letters, the address is wrong. So that's something that it's probably our biggest issue as far as woody lots. I mean, residential or commercial, people that live there, those are the easiest one to enforce. You just go knock on the door, work with them, talk to them, and they'll comply pretty much 90% of the time. Trash and debris accumulation, you see people's houses, trash on there, things like that. Abandoned junk vehicles, which, I mean, as you all know, there's quite a few here, but it's in every city. Illegal signage, you see those signs on telephone posts and right-of-ways from businesses. That's a big, those are easy to enforce. You just take them down. Illegal parking, oversized commercial vehicles, you see that here in the city. Those trocones in the residential areas or places like that. Illegal dumping, stagnant water. You see that when it rains, especially right now, it's very important for people. They have tires, buckets, to make sure they empty that out or use it to water their plants. And dilapidated structures, we see that here, like I said. But these are, you see in big cities, small cities, it's a problem that it's hard to enforce, but it's there. These are some of the pictures you may see, like I said, as a woody lot property, the signs that you see. When I got here, there's a lot of those signs on telephone posts. And that was the first thing I told the guys, those are the easiest things, just yank them down, call the business, let them know that we don't allow that. You see the trash, debris, illegal parking, oversized commercial vehicles in neighborhoods. Junk vehicle, stagnant water like that, you see in tires, things like that.
This isn't Donna.
No, these are some are done, and some are just letting you know.
Okay.
But like I said,
Yeah,
no, I just got to show you, but this is what they look like. I don't want to scare you guys, and
this is what you're focusing on.
yeah, these, like I said, these are common throughout all the cities here, like, no matter how.
While it may not be Donna, believe me, there's a lot of troubled areas. Like I
Yeah,
say,
like
maybe to not this, maybe to not this magnitude, but
It's there,
but
it's
out
there,
there,
yes, it's
believe
there,
me.
yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised, like I said, in bigger cities, the illegal dumping is even worse, because there's more places where people illegally dump, and that's very hard to enforce. I know there's cameras that we can install, but cameras are pricey. This is a city ordinance that I came across, that it was called the Trash and Woody Lot Ordinance. I kind of went ahead and amended it to be called the Public Nuisance Ordinance, which pretty much covers everything you can think of. It's probably gonna be in there. I mean, like I said, it's just anything that becomes a nuisance, like woody lots, like we don't have to wait. In some cases of the grasses, I believe a certain height, we don't have to notify the owner, because it becomes a public nuisance, and we could go ahead and abate it. So this is one of the big amendments that I worked on, and I sent it to Mr. Ramirez here to look at, along with these ordinances that we kind of amended and updated that go hand in hand with court enforcement. We had a woody lot one, illegal dumping, prohibited parking, unauthorized signage, like I said, vector control and stagnant water, tire disposal. Your tire shops, they have to have what they should have a manifest from TCEQ to dispose, and I don't know if they do that here, but it's something that we could enforce through an ordinance, to go by there and see where's your manifest, or from here forward, they have to do it, or they could get cited. Public health standards, that's just your health inspections, because code enforcement officers, they also do health inspections. They do both. As long as you have a license, they can do health inspections. And the recycling center one, I know you had that. I just kind of amended it to put an enforcement clause with penalties and fines, because there was nothing in that ordinance. So it's hard to enforce something without So that's something that Mr. Ramirez had given him. So I'm hopefully by next fiscal year, you guys will look through it and maybe and hopefully approve it, and it'll make our job a lot easier. Penalties and fines. These are some of the fines that most cities, it's pretty much standard. They're mostly misdemeanors, you know, as little as $50, $200. There's some things, like I say, we could ask those to suspend some of their services if they don't want to comply. Same goes for businesses. If they don't want to comply, there's something that we can kind of do to just get them to compliance. And these are pretty much standard or at the discretion of the judge. But it's good to have these in place to give us some kind of leeway to, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about compliance. It's not so much giving penalties or fines. I'm not a big proponent, but it's something that at times that we have to do because sometimes people just, they don't care at the end of the day.
See, when people that have a conditional use permit would pull their permits, right?
Yeah, you can, we could put permits, you can do, we could pretty much do anything. As long as it's in the ordinance, we can do it. This is something how residents can help maintain the community, stay informed. A lot of times people just don't know. Like when I got into code enforcement, I didn't know a lot of these things, and most people just don't know. Report issues promptly, because they're the eyes and our ears of the community. Maintain their property, you know, get involved, pretty much. The importance of community engagement in code enforcement is that many violations arise from lack of awareness, not intentionally neglect. This happens a lot. People, like I said, people just don't know, or people don't have the resources to correct their violation. Like you see all this with the elderly people. You see they have a lot of murero, they have a lot of stuff in there, but they don't have the means to clean it up. So that's why sometimes I suggest we have like a community cleanup, help the elderly out. So a lot of times people just don't know. And like I say, education and being proactive helps reduce violations and builds trust among the community. Like I said, residents are vital partners, serving as first line of defense in identifying health, safety, and quality of life concerns. Strong community involvement is essential for effective and lasting code enforcement. And like I said, simply goes back to educating, you know, the community. There are some things that we could kind of do, outreach methods, public workshops, brochures, flyers, you know, direct communication during inspections. When somebody's out there, you know, we talk to them, let them know. You know, fostering cooperation, not conflict. I said code enforcement is most effective when seen as a collaborative effort, not a punishment. The department's goal is to partner with residents, businesses to maintain safe, healthy, and welcoming environment. And by fostering internal collaboration, public engagement, enforcement becomes a proactive and positive force, not just a response to violations. And our final message is, like I said, it's all about partnership, not a penalty system. And the ultimate goal is voluntary compliance. That's pretty much the bread and butter. Just you need people to comply at the end of the day. But like I said, and is that something that really generates revenue? Citations really don't. But everybody plays a key role in keeping the community safe, clean, and livable. So, questions?
I like that statement, Mr. Perez. Everyone plays a role in keeping the community safe, clean, and livable. And you're absolutely correct, sir. This is not a funding mechanism or a way to generate revenue. This is a mechanism to avoid spending thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in infrastructure damage. For example, code enforcement is now driving around and making sure that our roadside ditches are not clogged up with brush or with junk. That is one of the things they're enforcing. Why is that important? Because anytime you block or you prevent drainage from flowing, you start getting backflow. So one of the things that I've tasked the department with is start educating through outreach and enforcement, community, especially those that are cutting their yards and they're dumping grass into our drainage system, our storm drains. Other things like tires, illegal dumping, you know, they pose a health hazard, and there could be mosquitoes, there could be snakes. And again, our job here is to increase the quality of life, but without a good, strong code enforcement program, we're never gonna get there. So, you know, no, it's not here to generate revenue. We're not here to find people. We're here to educate, but we are here to use the authority that the taxpayers have given us and enforce certain rules and ordinances, again, so that we can increase the quality of life, enforce things that could cause us money or could cause the community monies. And again, this is evolving. We're bringing up to par all these ordinances that hadn't been brought up to par in decades. And we're going to be creating new ordinances as we move forward. And everything is going to be in line, Mayor, Council, according to the vision of Donna as we move forward. Any questions, Mayor, Council?
I have a couple questions. On community awareness, Mr. Pettis? Maybe you covered it, I might have missed it, but I think I saw something about workshops, trying to get the community
That
involved.
or like if we have like National Night Out, things like that. I know like we'll get like pens and things like that, and I know we've done it. And when I was in Mercedes, we did that. We had a booth and we had flyers and little brochures like with the top 10 violations and in English and in Spanish, things like that. I mean, I know in August, I know they're gonna have something at the rec center. That's something that we could go out there and have a little table and things of that nature.
Also, if you're gonna give out notice on say violations or?
Yes.
So when you do that, you're gonna post something there like?
Normally, sir, if it's like for weedy lots, the way it normally works, if you send a letter to somebody by law or by the state of Texas, they have 10 days to cut that property.
Right.
And after the 10 days, you go out there and it's still not cut, you post a notice with a stake.
Oh, okay.
And after that, you have 7 days. And
Okay.
after 7 days, if they don't cut it, then we go in there and abate it. That's for weedy lots. But for anything else, say you have like trash or whatever, you're not there, we have little tags. We need to get bigger hangers to put, and you put your name information, we came by. Usually that works just as well.
The last question I had, and Mr. Peña, you could probably also maybe help with this one, but I know this is all city, right? I understand, but Donna does venture further south into some areas that are not considered city limits, but it's still Donna. And I know south of Donna, there's some areas there close to that satellite dump that the county has.
Yes, sir.
And there's people just throw stuff out there. I mean, it's really bad.
Yeah, that makes it hard with county, because I know county
Yeah.
now, I think they did away with code, but I think they have it now. It's something that we could still work
So
with
I'm
county
thinking
and
maybe, I
PD.
know we've got good ties with the county, but maybe we can kind of work together with
Yeah,
them. And maybe
yeah.
give them, maybe remind the county commissioner that, hey, don't forget about Donna, but,
Yeah, that's a
they can certainly
possibility,
go-
just making contact with the
Yeah.
right personnel and letting them know, hey, we need help on our end, because we can't, like I said, like whatever help, like I said, we call PD, call fire, we all goes hand in hand and working together.
Okay, thank you.
How about a public service announcement, showing some of these things?
Or like
you know,
social
and
media,
a
sir,
little-
or like, I know I'm gonna update the website and give this information. Once the ordinance are approved, we'll put the ordinance in there, everything under code enforcement, contact information, all that. We're working in improving or updating the website under code enforcement.
I know that the engineering students that came for the street, didn't they have like a little public service announcement on, they were telling us that, the backflow, all of that, and they
Yeah,
created
yeah,
their
yeah,
own
yes,
little,
sir.
thing there, so that would be good. to
Yeah, the sky's the
post.
the sky's the limit, Commissioner. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's out there with social media now. We could do
Because
wonders out there.
We go back to educating the public, and that's.
And that's
the
really
main
the
thing.
key. That's really the key that, like I said, in a lot of cities, big or small, like I said, I've been in
Yeah.
both. It's the same thing. People just are ignorant, or a lot of times they just don't know. They simply don't know.
And you're right, it's about educating the community, that's it.
I'd like to add, Mayor, Council, on the education part of it, something we haven't done, and I applaud Mr. Pettis and Jasmine for this initiative we're getting ready to kickstart. But we're gonna be opening up our doors once a week, not necessarily for just developers and people who have interest in Donna, but for the community. If you have questions on ordinances, if you have questions on how we do things, on the planning department, what to look out for, here soon, we're gonna establish a date, whether it's Thursday or Friday. It could be the morning, could be the afternoon, according to Mr. Pettis and Ms. Jasmine. And the community will be able to come in here, talk to us, get informed on those ordinances, especially for those that are doing garage sales, people that have interest in maybe selling some food on the side, things like that. So we welcome the community to come and talk to Mr. Pettis and Jasmine, get familiar with the current ordinances. Again, a lot of antiquated ordinances that we're revamping, bringing them up to par. We get it. There's just so much out there. So we ask the community to be patient, but nonetheless, our doors will be open here soon, once a week. So you can come over and talk to our planning department, which will be composed of the fire marshal, our utilities director, our public works director, and again, our planning and zoning and code enforcement. And you can pick their brain for a couple hours and you can learn as much as you can from them and get direction. So, again, Adrian, to you and Jasmine, thank you for doing that initiative.
Our city will be as clean as we want it to be. Everybody has to do their part. But if there's a department, I've always said, if there's a department within the city that has a lot to do with the beautification of the city, is this department. You know, you need to identify, enforce, and then it's a little wheel, and everybody's got to do their part, you know, inform, enforce, and then hold people accountable. And I know you mentioned that, you know, it's not about going out there and fining people, giving them tickets, citations, this, and it's not about that. I don't think anybody in here would want a neighbor with weedy lots, with abandoned cars and so forth. Becomes a health issue and so forth. So I applaud you, Mr. Perez, Ms. Jasmine. I don't know if I saw you around here. Thank you all for what you're doing. Finally, we're getting things like this done within our city and moving forward. So I appreciate everything that you're doing for us.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, guys.
We go to number 5, discussion and possible action on approval of City Hall Annex contract. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, council, Mike, can you put the image up there? So, Mayor, council, one of the first things that you guys tasked me with is open government and full transparency. We started by incorporating the airing of our meetings, and so we're very fortunate that we brought in a team that starts now airing our meetings on YouTube and Facebook. In doing so, you guys have also tasked me with ensuring that the community and the workforce and everything is getting better, right? But one of the things that I realized that we've outgrown this facility that we're currently in. More importantly, I think the evidence of the people standing in the hall is enough proof to show that we have a dire need of getting a better facility, right? So the big question is, what do we buy? Do we build? Or what are the options, right? As we build up our 1 year, our 3 year, and our 5 year plan, it was evident that we don't have the finances because most of our borrowing capacity has been used to fund this construction project of the bridge, which is a wise decision because that's going to pay dividends. It's going to make millions, right? So the real question is, what can the city afford and what do we need? Well, first of all, this facility right here is extremely old. It's got some structural issues. More importantly, major electrical issues that we still need to address. We were made aware by the electric company provider that we don't fix this facility is in danger of burning down. Secondly, our roof here continues to leak water, no matter how many times we repair it. Additionally, if you walk around, you see that our offices, we don't have enough room. We hired an EDC director. She works out of what I thought was the city manager's office, is more of a conference room, right? The city has a budget of $32 million when you put everything together, the bridge, utilities, public works, and general fund, sales tax, and all that, right? We're getting ready to expand our bridge. We're bringing in investors. We're bringing in federal officials, state officials, and it's like going into a maze when you come into our facility. Again, we've outgrown this facility, and it's evident by the people that are in the hall. They just can't participate or be in the room. So we looked at options. And what were those options? Well, naturally, the first thing we did is we went to the school district to see if they had any buildings. Unfortunately, they didn't have anything available for us. We looked at the Head Start that was down the street, thinking that they might move. They could not. They had no intent to move. Our one facility that we currently have, which is open, is the one that's being occupied by Open Hands, and they have an amazing initiative where they're feeding a lot of the underserved community through the food bank, right? So our only option was to find a facility here in the city of Donna that we could find at an appropriate price and we could lease, giving us enough time to get our finances. So we found a facility. It's at 111 North 17th Street. It's on the north side of the railroad tracks. It's right there by just 1 block away from 493. It's a great area. The location itself is about 7,500 feet. And it's got the ability to house the EDC, the executive administration, and of course, a community liaison, right? So we looked at the facility, we engaged with our architect, we saw a floor plan. Again, this is all very preliminary. What you're looking on the left, the red, EDC Connect, gives us an opportunity to create a business hub for our business community. We have hundreds of business owners that work from home, or they have small businesses that serve, no, go back to the original slide. hundreds of business owners that go either to Starbucks, go to the library, go to different places where they can tap into Wi-Fi. This gives them an opportunity to come in here, sit, work comfortably. But more importantly, this is going to be a multi-use facility, one of them being a chambers. It gives us enough room to house everybody that's here and then some. What you're looking here is not the final design, something that I've talked to the architect. This was using the existing floor plan, right? On the executive administration side, if you can go to the third slide, Mike, you will see, again, this one requires more offices, so we're probably going to take away from the EDC side because they don't have that much of a workforce, and we're going to add. And so what are those executive offices? First of all, it's comfortable to say, I think it's safe to say that the mayor nor the council has a meeting room for their constituents. This gives us a meeting room. This gives us a conference room that we can utilize for our partners here in the community or anybody that wants to come and visit. This gives an opportunity for the city manager, the assistant, human resources, finance, and anyone else that we can fit there, right? It gives us breathing room to free up the current facility, which we plan on renovating, using whatever borrowing capacity we still have left, investing in this facility, bringing it up to par and bringing it up to code, and allowing for more unified constituent services here in this facility. But back to this other facility, what we're calling the City of Donna proposed annex building, right, or City Hall Annex. It also gives us an opportunity, if you look on the blue, to invite one of our either congressional or state partners. At this point, we've had a very serious inquiry by one of our state senators who wants to be housed out of the City of Donna. I think that's a big thing, especially when we're getting ready to improve our international bridge. People want to come and invest in Donna, and when you bring them to this maze here, they kind of look at you and they say, well, this is how you keep your house. What can you offer us, right? So, again, we've been in negotiations with this property owner for some time. He initially started at a high price. We brought him down to an average of $1.30 a square foot, much lower than $1.45. We wanted a 5-year lease. We brought it down to 3 years. And why is 3-year lease appropriate for us? Because in roughly 2 years and change, our commercial bridge will be fully operational, generating revenue for this community in the millions, much more than what we have. What that allows us to do is it allows us to restructure our debt, giving us the opportunity to borrow and hopefully go out to the voters and potentially pitch a public building bond or something like that. But for now, I think it's safe to say that we've outgrown this facility. I'm coming to you, Mayor and Council, that you guys would consider a 3-year lease. This is at a cost of $9,750 a month. Now, as we've done our strategic meetings and reevaluated the budget, we've identified $88,000 in professional services that we're going to propose and eliminating. And really what we're doing is we're reclassifying a debt we already have or a liability we already have, and we're applying it to a city hall, right? Now, considering where we're at with our current budget, we formulated this agreement. If the mayor, mayor and council approve, that it will not start until maybe October or November, giving us enough time to self-perform a lot of these different modifications. And if you look at the floor plan, there's not a whole lot of modifications. The building is ready to move in. Unfortunately, we want to tailor it a little bit. We have a great construction team in-house. They're really good at carpentry amongst paving and cement, and so the cost is going to be very minimal. Where we do see, and in making some investment, it'll be the technology, it'll be the furniture, and the fixtures that apply to this facility. Nonetheless, we can always take those with us to the next facility. There is going to be a small investment. What that number is, we're still not sure, but we plan on keeping it very low, especially because we're self-performing. Again, the lease will be for approximately 3 years. It'll be an option of 1, and I'm confident that by that time, the city will have their finances in order where we could potentially propose a more robust, more modern city hall that the citizens of Donna can take pride in going. For those of you guys that come to the city for a permit or for something, it is unfortunate that everybody sometimes waits outside City Hall because they can't fit, right? We don't have a public restroom accessible to our community that comes. We lack a lot of components. And while we're using money to pay for services that we don't entirely need or expenses that have gone through, we've done our part, Mayor, Commissioner, in really controlling our expenses From the moment we came in, we put safeguards in there. We put control points that have saved us. I'm proud to say it saved us millions, just starting with that sludge transport, contract that we revisited. Now we're self-performing. We've controlled our finances. As of last week, our finance director or assistant finance director and our finance director, Joe Garcia, made us aware, sir, that after identifying an accounting error, because of all our department heads and all our departments who came together, and I'm proud to announce that we're going to finish this year what the accountants call in the black, which is positive. We're going to come up with at least 80,000 in reserves, right? This is not considering all the different salaries that we have not filled. So that's salary monies that we're going to come in. So is it going to be an expense? Absolutely. But more than anything, gentlemen, this is an investment to your community. This is open government. People will no longer have to wait in the halls. They can comfortably sit there. The idea is to have some monitors where those that can't hear what's happening in the front can most definitely listen to in the back. So, again, Mayor, you guys tasked me with coming up with something that could be comfortable, something that be presentable, and here we are. Again, this is all preliminary. We do plan on meeting with the architect if the city so chooses to move forward with this agreement and revisiting this floor plan and making it more accommodating to our staff and, of course, the council who wants to be there to meet with their citizens. Mayor, council, any questions?
Mr. Peña,
Yes, sir.
I see EDC, are they taking any part of this?
As of right
Financially
now,
or anything?
we have talked about it, but they have not acted on it.
Okay.
This is something we're proposing.
All right.
Again, this is a preliminary layout, something we plan on revisiting. It could be that the EDC might not, but again, Mayor, Council, I don't see why they wouldn't. We don't have a facility for an EDC. We plan on having seminars, workshops for our business community. We plan on opening this up for the person. And really, it's a business hub. Why? Because you're investing in your business community, who is the driving force of this community, right, when it comes to sales tax. But we have pitched it to them in the past. Prior to April Castañeda coming in as our new executive director, we have talked about it. Okay. So it's not something that's going to hit them as new. Again, what that cost sharing is going to be for them, well, that's going to be dependent on the square footage, right? We're going to make sure that it's equitable as far as the cost sharing.
Sure.
Mr. Peña, I like the idea. We do need a new city hall, even an annex. But I know at our last meeting, fire department showed us a lot of not too nice pictures of the fire department. Are we doing the same thing for them in planning and in helping them with their fire department?
That's a great question, Commissioner. And absolutely, yes, sir. Prior to myself, coming in here, taking my post, it had been years that the fire department, I was going to call you mayor, because you are prior mayor, that the fire chief had been asking this council, Commissioner, for assistance.
PD's the same,
Right?
on the same
And I'll tell you where we're headed with that just in a bit. But we've mobilized, we brought in our architect, we identified the funding. We were able to leverage our partners, more specifically Precinct 1. We offset some of our costs, and we're now making an investment. We're currently in design on those repairs, and I'm confident within the next month, maybe 6 weeks or so, we might begin construction upon final completion. But you're right, sir. You bring up public safety.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen our public safety building, it's horrible, it's outdated, it's old, over 3 decades old at least, minimal, right? Again, we're now forecasting 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, hence the reason why we've been having strategic planning meetings every single day for about 2, maybe 3 hours, right? Mayor, Council, for the record, Commissioner Jesse Jackson is joining us.
My apologies for being late.
6:23, the time is
6:23 on deck, time on deck? Yes, sir. So, yes, sir, we are working on fixing the fire department, but above and beyond that, here in the next year or so, we do plan on launching an initiative that we're going to take to the voters for a public safety building. Yes, sir. And again, for an initiative like that, it's so expensive that at that point it'll be up to the voters. But again, we're not going to do that. We were waiting till we went into construction with this international bridge. That sets a timeline for growth. Now with an EDC director, we mobilize. We're talking to businesses. You're going to see Donna scale up in a matter of time, right? But not at the stagnant rate that it has been over these years, right? So, yes, sir, we are working on our public safety department. Chief is here. He'll be first to tell you that we are. But I think at this point we need to think about government. And we need to think about our constituents and having the ability to come in here and really just absorb what's happening with their city. Mayor, council, any additional questions?
Yes, sir, I do. Yeah, so, you know, the more I've learned about your proposal for the annex building, the more I tend to kind of agree with it. You know, originally I was concerned about the expense. I thought the expense was gonna have an impact on our current fiscal year, but the way I understand it is we're looking at engaging into some kind of agreement, but it won't be effective until next fiscal year, right?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
October.
So, and that's important because that gives us, our finance department, Mr. Garcia and Dr. Reyna and everybody else, Mary, the opportunity to make sure that, you know, our budget's gonna be balanced out correctly to reflect the annexation of the building. We are making a lot of changes, a lot of progress, I believe. I think we've done a lot for the city of Donna, and I think that an annexation like that would reflect positively on what we're doing as new administration. We're not committing ourselves to too long of a period of time. I think 3 years gives us enough time to transition into maybe a permanent building that the city can possibly own or something in the future. But we have to be cost conscientious about the whole thing. Also, Commissioner Moreno mentioned that we could possibly allocate some of our expenses with the Economic Development Council or Corporation. There's a section there of the office that we could possibly get the EDC to share some of those expenses. We can allocate the cost based on square footage, like you mentioned, you know, so I think it's a good idea. I think Mr. Peña has also addressed a lot of costs, because it's, I know we're spending money, but we've addressed a lot of cost savings as well, a lot, gentlemen. We've done a lot, ladies and gentlemen, we've done a lot of cost savings. Going back to the sludge, the agreement that we just got the okay from that government entity, we could actually start doing our own sludge removal. And when you look at that over the course of the next, I think it's 6 years?
5 years, sir.
5 years, we're looking at
1.7
saving 1 point what?
Well, it would have been 1.7. I think we're like 1.3 million, 1.4.
Yeah, so, you know, we're looking at substantial savings there also. Plus, we're also looking at more opportunities for Donna employees as well. So that's just one example of cost savings. And we're looking at the water treatment plant. We're looking at saving a ton of money. I think originally we're looking at spending somewhere around $57 million.
About 50 million, yes, sir.
And then now we're looking at a 20-year plan for about 20 mil and an attainable plan that we can actually go out and do, right? The first plan, I think we're probably going to probably not do with it because we weren't going to be able to afford it, you know. But here we are working on this plan that was not going to get us anywhere. And that would have been a waste of money. So we're saving money. I think at the very least, this is a pretty good deal, you know, for all of us. I think we're very cost conscientious about what we're doing. So as far as expending money, I don't see that as an issue whatsoever. I think we're saving money, and I think we're going to continue to do that. And it goes in line with our budget for next year. And I know our experts back there are going to make it all work out, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I want to thank you, Mr. Peña, for that presentation. You know, apart from the bridge, you know, this council, and I want to thank this council, you know, for making decisions that you know, are going to impact the economic growth here in the city, and you know, having a new annex, a place where investors, and not only our investors but our community, can walk in there and be proud and see something that say, hey, these people are ready for business. I think that goes a long way. So as far as I'm concerned, great presentation, and we're good, ready to vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Any other questions, comments? If not, this is an action item. I need a motion.
I make a motion that we approve this City Hall annexation contract.
We have a motion by Commissioner Moreno. We have a second by Commissioner Lugo. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 6, discussion, possible action on first reading of ordinance 2025-10, amending ordinance 2021-04, an ordinance regulating the use and operation of tow trucks and wreckers. Mr. Peña.
Mayor, council member, this last rain event that we had here in the city of Donna really set the tone for us looking into this particular ordinance, right? We identified ordinances from outside our rotation that were coming in here. They were excessively charging our citizens to move vehicles out of the water, and at times, they impounded these vehicles at an excessive amount of fine, or I guess the tow. Since then, we've met with council, our attorney. We've reviewed the ordinance. We recognize while doing this and looking at the city of Harlingen, city of McAllen, city of Edinburgh, that our rates were too low. They were not up to par compared to this community. The inflation had been factored in. There was service items that were missing that we reviewed. And on top of that, we also identified a need to regulate tow companies according to their corporate name and not necessarily their DBAs, giving an opportunity to all the tow companies that sign up with the city a fair rotation, right? So what you have before you, Mayor and Council, is an amended ordinance to our tow. Counselor, do we have to read this, or Mayor?
No, it's just the first reading of the commission to acknowledge they've read it, and the formality of having a first reading and approval. There'll still be a second reading at the next meeting. I won't make you read the whole 10 pages, Mayor.
We can identify again, Mayor, there were some communities that were charging, like City of Harlingen, I believe they charge up to $300 for a tow. We kept it at $200 for vehicles up to 10,000, vehicles between 10,000 and 24.99, which is 25,250, and so on. We added overweight services here, seeing charges, mileage. We brought them up to par. Drop fees. We also went ahead and put a time frame for response during working hours and after working hours. But I think the one that you might be more interested in is we added a customer service standards and complaint procedures, right? We get a lot of complaints from people that get their vehicles towed. Tow companies might not necessarily have the right customer service for our community. And so we're making it mandatory that anytime a vehicle gets towed, that there be a complaint form. More specifically, the city manager's office and or my designee will be overseeing this complaint, right? So what that means is you go receive your impound, you're gonna have, the tow companies have to give that person a form that we're going to create that's got the contact number, email, where they can submit their complaints. At that, also with that, we'll be doing random follow-ups to ensure the tow companies are providing and giving our community, good customer service and good fare. I thought that was important because, for a long time, we've been hearing that, tow companies might not, and not all of them, but some of them, either they're charging more than what the fees are allowed, or they're holding these vehicles hostage, for whatever reason. So yes, sir, those are some of the highlights regarding this. And again, this all happened after this last rain event. Mayor, council members, any questions?
How many tow companies do we have in Donna?
My understanding, we have about 13
13?
in rotation.
Okay, and they're all from Donna.
No, sir.
And is there a reason why not?
Not entirely, sir, no. But I will tell you the way we formulated this ordinance is at minimal 5. The previous ordinance had at minimal, I think it was one tow company per 6,000 residents. We have approximately 17,000 or 16,800, which would limit you to 3 tow companies. We revamped that. We said at minimal 5, but it doesn't necessarily have to be 5. We did identify a need to give those business owners in Donna priority. So you will see that the way we wrote the ordinance, it gives priority to those companies from Donna to be on rotation.
And who keeps the rotation?
Excuse me, sir?
Who keeps the rotation?
So-
Just like I asked on the bids and stuff like that. Who keeps the rotation?
So the rotation is managed on a day-to-day by the chief of police and his team. However, the vetting process, the list, modifications all handled now by the city managers, whereas in the past, it was handled by the police department. We've since then removed that component over to the city manager's office. We'll be providing program administration and oversight while the chief of police and his department provide day-to-day rotation management. Any other questions, Commissioner?
So you mentioned minimum of 5, but there can be more.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Again, we had to revamp the ordinance because the previous ordinance limited it to just 1 per 6,000. Technically, you were tied at 3, even though it said no less than, I think, 1 or 2, right?
That's correct.
The previous ordinance. We thought that was not in par with what's currently happening. Again, the chief made us aware that we had 13 companies on rotation. We're also made aware that out of those 13 companies, some of them have one corporate name but different DBAs. One of the other things that we did identify, or we did change on this ordinance, Mayor, council members, and again, for those that are here that own tow companies, is we're restricting one company per lot. Whereas we also identified 4 or 5 different companies having the same lot, which becomes confusing for the community members. So if you're gonna apply to be on a rotation, you have to have one lot per one corporate name, not one corporate name, 3 or 4 DBAs in one lot. You gotta have your own lot for corporate name. Yes, sir.
Do we have a login for these rotations?
Do we have a what, sir?
A log.
Currently, the police department keeps a log. Yes, sir. As of right now, I don't have one in our possession. Once this ordinance is amended and approved, the logs will be housed out of the city manager's office.
So, this mainly applies to, I would think, accidents, right? Vehicles that are involved
sir.
in an accident. How about a vehicle that's just parked somewhere, let's say they're in violation of our city ordinance, they've been parked there for like a week or so, and are abandoned vehicles? How are we gonna address those? Has our ordinance been updated to reflect vehicles that are in violation of our ordinance?
The ordinance reflects if it's impeding traffic or posing a danger.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And at which point our code enforcement department, if they identify that vehicle, will activate the rotation list. We'll tow that vehicle to our impound lot. Yes, sir.
So, council, you've checked all that, legalities of it, we're okay with that without any issues? I know some cities are sticklers about that, you gotta have, you know, the right signage, and you can't tow somebody unless the sign is there or something, so just wanna make sure that, Mr. Ramirez has had a chance to look at it. You've already
Yes,
seen it.
Councilman, Mayor, council members, this has been a work in progress, and we put a lot of time and effort into making sure that this final draft would try to encompass all the needs and the concerns that would arise. Obviously, you know, it was an ordinance that was originally created, and it's already been amended once, and like other ordinances that are amended, there is room for future growth and amendments as needed. But for the time being, identifying the needs and the concerns that we had, this does a very good job of doing that. It's very fair to the tow record companies because it actually increases the rates that they're able to charge, the maximum rates. It was a dated price rate system, so it addresses that. And as Mr. Benny has stated, it also addresses and provides the community and those who are affected by the ordinance an ability to complain or at least put us on notice as to what's going on. So it is very fair. It addresses the application processes. It addresses emergency events. It addresses different areas that had not previously been contemplated and needed to be updated. We looked at several other ordinances for around the community, around the valley, our neighbors to the east and west, Brownsville, McAllen, Harlingen, Edinburgh, Westaco. We looked at all those and took all those and we were able to identify what was best suited for our community.
One of the other things that we added, Mayor, Council, for the insurance, did we add the requirements for the insurance on
Yes,
here?
sir.
So we upped the insurance and made it up to par. There's insurance for general liability that they now have to meet, I believe, in the amount of 500,000. And there's also lot insurance that they have to provide to the city, which means if your vehicle goes to a lot and something happens, there's a minimal coverage that we've now identified on this ordinance. Yes, sir.
Well, I see some owners of record services and so forth, I think it's going, I know this is the first reading and we have to go through it again whenever it comes up again, another meeting for it to go into effect. I think it's going to be very important. Once, you know, we get it to where we want it, that you have somebody in your office go maybe call for a meeting with all the owners and go over it, make sure that everybody's on the same page and so forth, because not all the owners are here. And I think it will be It'll be a good meeting where they can express, their thoughts as well, apart from going over exactly what is on the ordinance.
Now, can we give them a copy of this first reading?
Absolutely, yes,
Send them
sir.
a copy, that way they
Yep.
have it, if they have any questions, that y'all could get a hold of the city manager, if they have any questions, y'all have it, see what we have here.
Mayor, council members, again, part of the rollout plan for this ordinance is to, number one, we're going to treat this as if we're advertising for any vendor, right? So we're going to advertise it, put it out there. But more importantly, we're gonna go and look for any tow company in the city of Donna and the neighboring cities and extend the invite to be part of this rotation, right? Whenever they submit their application, we're going to vet the application, and then we'll put them on rotation. Again, we want to reassure the towing community that the city of Donna wants to have a fair rotation. For a long time, I've heard was, they have one corporate name and like 3 or 4 different DBAs. So naturally, the first one owner gets 4 calls back to back, whereas another owner only has one DB under one corporate name and they only get 1 call, right? But yes, sir, we're gonna make ourselves available, ensure that everybody has this information available to them. And my office is always available for anybody that's got comments. But over the time that I've been here, I've met with several tow company, and they've all expressed their concerns, which is, it goes in hand. It's just unfortunately this last weather event really prompted this initiative. And yes, I think the big part here is to add a weather event clause into the ordinance that allows us to enforce during any natural disaster. And we consider that event a natural disaster. It doesn't necessarily have to be considered a disaster by FEMA or the state. It's how we classify it as a city. Mayor, council, any questions?
I just would like to add to that, Mr. Peña. Spoke to some of the owners. Their concern is a lot of these tow owners. Their insurance has just skyrocketed. So my concern to them, and I did tell them, as our part of our citizens, that we need to try to pay them more. I would say you want to compare apples to apples. So they can hopefully get paid what other cities get paid, and just let you all know that we're here for you. Like Mr. Peña said, he's just a phone call away, and I agree with our mayor here. Have a meeting with the tow truck owners and bring all this up, and just, make it clear to them, that we're trying to help as much as we can. Did had a couple of concerns. Well, coach, my insurance went up. We're getting paid so much money, we're not even making it. So hopefully we can help to work in. It's their business, it's their livelihood. So hopefully we can get up there and bat with the other cities about what they get paid. So our toll people can get paid just about the same.
Commissioner Jackson, and for the tow companies, you guys can come over to our office. Maybe we might not have copies today, but you guys can come over tomorrow, and we'll leave some copies there. But yes, sir, we had to find a medium, right? Again, the insurance requirement, that's what we got for neighboring cities. But we did up our fees. I think at one point, the original fees was like $100 or something like that, $100 for the transport. We upped that to $200. And then we added other service items that they weren't traditionally charging because it wasn't part of the fee schedule. So I feel that this is a fair ordinance. The fees are much higher than they were before. We get it. Everything's gone up. They got to be compensated, especially for their time. Sometimes their time, they're stuck on a scene because for some reason, I especially me as a paramedic working 911 for a long time, and Chief Simmons here, sometimes those accidents take a while. I was coming back from Harlingen earlier. There was a truck that was jackknifed. Well, previous to us revamping this ordinance, there was no mechanism for those heavy tow trucks that cost tow truck, one of those, about $1 million is what it runs. Those big 18-wheeler tow trucks are about $1 million, man. They got a crane, right? We now have that component here where they can provide that service, and they're able to charge for that, whereas before they were very limited. Yes, sir.
To all the record service owners here, you provide a very valuable service to this community.
And in a sense, you can be up there with considered first responders, especially when it comes to emergencies that we have, like floodings and stuff like that. So I think it's a great idea, what Commissioner Garza, proposed, that you get a copy of this first reading of this ordinance. Go over it, come back, and you want to share your thoughts with us, by all means. this does not go into effect until we read the second reading of this ordinance. So it'll give you some opportunities to go through the ordinance and see what you think about it. But truly appreciate y'all's service that you provide to this community. Any other questions, comments? If not, this is an action item for first reading of ordinance 2025-10.
An action? It's action.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
We got a motion by Commissioner Jackson. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Moreno. All in favor? Motion passes. Number 7, discussion possible action to purchase stanchions with velvet ropes for donation to American Legion. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, Council, Mayor and I had the privilege and honor to attend a chicken plate, or I think they were giving out chicken plates to veterans at the American Legion. For those of you guys who don't know, the American Legion structure that we have here in Donna is the oldest structure. Is that correct, Mr. Osuna? The oldest structures nationwide.
And the first in the world.
And the first in the world, right? So walking in there, they're trying to preserve and the American Legion logo that's there. And we saw what they were using, and the mayor looked at me and he said, "Hey, can we do something for our vets?" I said, "Absolutely, we can get them some ropes," right? So Rico was assisted in finding a cost. What's the cost for something like this? It's about 180. 380.
Yeah, because we're buying 2 sets.
That's right. We're buying 2 sets, $380. We'll be, upon approval of this item, we'll purchase it and hopefully bring the American Legion, go put it out there, take a picture, and just, support our veteran community. So, Mayor, Council Member, for your approval is the purchase of 2 sets of the velvet ropes, stanchions, for the oldest American Legion in the nation and first in the world. Any questions, Mayor, Council?
If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garza. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Moreno. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 8, discussion possible action on resolution number 2025-20, appointing Amigos del Valle Incorporated alternate member. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, council member, there's an opening, the Amigos del Valle nonprofit. So it requires 2 appointments, one elected official, and the second can either be an elected official or it can be a city employee. I'm recommending that it be another council member to attend. Commissioner Jackson serves as a primary. It would be wise to appoint a second council member. I myself, as a city manager, along with my assistant, we're going to be tag teaming these meetings just so we can have presence on behalf of the city and assist the council member while they're there. So up for consideration, Mayor. Council is for y'all to select at least one of you guys serve as a secondary.
Well, if you don't mind, Mayor, I'd like to select you to be my alternate, since you are retired. Throw him a fastball right now, huh?
He is retired, right?
He's retired, yeah. So,
I'll second that.
I was going to say something, Coach, but no, we're on video, right? Yeah.
you can talk to me afterwards.
We had a motion by Commissioner Jackson. We have a second by Commissioner Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
See?
No.
Unanimous.
That's good, that's good. Number 9, discussion possible action on request for sponsorship from Donna Redskin Quarterback Club in the amount of $600. Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir, Mayor, council members, this is a yearly thing. It's the Donna Redskin Quarterback Club. I believe it's for an advertisement. The amount of $600. We're asking for council approval.
Take a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Garza. We have a second by Commissioner Lugo. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 10, discussion possible action on request from OK Pharmacy to host their annual back-to-school bash at Donna Square Park on August 2nd, 2025, including a request for waiver of associated fees. Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir, Mayor, council members, as you know, we're gearing up for the back to school coming just right around the corner. It's August. OK Pharmacy is one of those local businesses that's always involved with the community. They're also going to be a facility that we're going to use for the fireworks stand. Is that an action item here? No, sure. No. So yes, sir, they're asking to borrow or at least use our facility, and they're asking that they waive the fees. I think it's a great thing for our community. As a matter of fact, we're looking at joining this initiative on behalf of the city.
Do they have to block off any street or anything, Rico?
Mayor, no, council members, no, they're not requesting any closures of streets. They're only just requesting the waiving of the fees of $265 for the special event for the park.
I'd like to, motion to approve that item.
I'll second it.
We got a motion by Commissioner Luo. We have a second by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 11, discussion possible action on first reading of ordinance 2025-13, historic landmark ordinance. Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir. So this is something that's been in discussion, right? Preserving the history of Donna. History has such an Donna has such an amazing history here. I saw the video that you sent me, Mayor, on where we started, and I like sharing this because I just learned this because of your video, Mayor. But I just found out that lettuce, right? Lettuce was introduced to the valley by some Japanese couple that relocated from California to the city of Donna. And why is lettuce important? Because everybody eats lettuce, right? We eat it in our salad, we eat it in our burgers. And what do you know, man? Once upon a time, I was a migrant who used to pick lettuce down here, right? So we've since worked with Mr. Gabriel Suna, who's creating and assisting. You want to stand up, Gabriel, and kind of talk a little bit about this? And now you've given us an update before, but Gabriel Suna sits on the Hidalgo County Preservation Committee, the Historical Commission, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm the chair of the Hidalgo County Historical Commission. I also serve on a number of boards. And what we're introducing here to Donna, it's a version that's been taken up in Mercedes by way of the city of Plano. And also just learned that the city of Harlingen's actually going to have that on their agenda tomorrow. So I think it goes to show that everyone's kind of realizing that the valley has a unique history, and we all want to try to do our part to preserve it and try to find some creative ways and grants of funding to restore some of our beloved historic landmarks. So this is a first step, and I'm really glad to have been working with Mr. Peña and Mr. Ramirez on this. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Su.
And council, I have had the opportunity to work with Mr. Zuna. He put a lot of time and effort into this. He gave us the format to go forward and took the initiative and is very proud of the community. So I've had an opportunity to review everything, and I'd recommend their approval at this time.
Thank you, sir. This is an action item.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Luo. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 12, discussion, possible action on first reading of ordinance 2025-15, authorizing the release from the city of Donna's extraterritorial jurisdiction of an approximately 5-acre tract of land known as property ID 586280, ordering the changing of the city of Donna's extraterritorial jurisdiction boundary map in accordance with said change. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, council members, for a very long time prior to this, the city historically approves as ETJs. I'd like to kindly ask that we table item 12 and 13 until I have a better understanding what the financial implications are on the city as we start looking into our land use, right? So I propose to the plan department land use analysis, but for now, I'm going to ask that we table this until we can figure out what this means for Donna. Again, now we're forecasting, and so removal ETJs, though by law, they are protected to an extent. We do have a say as a city. So for now, we're going to revisit this request. If we feel that we can put it back on our next meeting, we'll so be it.
Counselor, do we, can we table both items with one vote, or we take them separately, sir?
You can do it, both items with one vote,
Okay.
one motion.
We have a recommendation by the city manager to table 12 and 13. Any questions, comments? If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
A motion to table 12, item 13 on the agenda.
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Garza. We have a second by Commissioner Lugo. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 14, discussion, possible action on first reading of ordinance 2025-18, creating an ordinance establishing permit and application requirements for regulating street vendors, peddlers, temporary operators, and special events. Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir. Mr. Pettis, you want to elaborate a little bit on this?
Yes, sir. It's pretty much just, I mean, whenever we have, I guess, people that want to sell like Easter, Valentine things there in the corners, things like that, it's just facilitating more just to, I mean, we could go and inspect things, make sure everything's good. If they sell food, we could have our health guys go out there do inspections. It's just another source of revenue, but it's not that much as far as the permit. It just getting to be in compliance, ensuring that we're safe as a city for these types of businesses that come into the city.
Just another way to regulate, because we don't have a way
We
to
don't have
regulate.
anything, nothing like that. Like
It's a
you'll
good thing.
see them popping up on the weekend, things like that. But we could have our code enforcement guys work on Saturdays to kind of regulate that more. It just pretty much to just hold the city more liable in case anything happens. Like we're on top of things like that.
So they would be able, somebody would be able to get a permit to sell off the street.
Well, not off the street, more like they have like permission from like vacant property or they have permission, but not just anywhere like that. It just because they're here anyway. But like I know some sell like for Easter, for Valentine's, things of that nature. And like I said, if you're gonna allow them to do that, well, at least have them a special events permit or some kind of permit in place. Like I said, it's just more
It's
to
like temporary, right?
temporary permits. Yeah, just to make sure if they do pop up, there's something in place that we can enforce, because believe me, they're out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't have to allow it either. Like I said, it's just something in place. I'm not saying that, oh, whatever you want, we're gonna give it to you.
Because normally it's not allowed, right? But
Yeah,
we have
nobody
an
allowed,
ordinance
but
that they have to
yes,
get
but
this
we have more leeway into enforcing that. And if they don't listen to us, there's something in place that we could cite them or things like that. So that way they won't be there anymore. It's pretty much like that.
I'm, you know, the way I see it, the way I'm thinking, and maybe I'm wrong in my mindset here, but say for example, there at Stars, they sell hamburgers. Somebody comes in, puts a cart next door. I think there's a taqueria there or something, and they get permission from the owner. I can put a cart there in the evenings to sell hamburgers.
I wouldn't allow it because it's like I said, it's something that you don't want to, I guess, make it a precedent. I guess make it common, because I said in reality, usually one business belongs to one property. That's not really a business, but it is a business in a sense because they're selling food, they're getting profit from that situation. So a lot of those times we wouldn't allow it.
Well, I wouldn't like it, and that's a good thing you're saying that. I wouldn't like it as a Stars manager, owner, saying, hey,
Like I said, it
I
doesn't-
pay all my permits, all my fees, this
No, but
and
like I
that,
said,
and
like I said, Mayor,
compliance.
this is just something that it doesn't mean that we allow it all the time. It's just something to have coverage of. They keep up popping up. We have legal means or enforcement because we have an ordinance saying, you know what, you can't go out there and do whatever you want because it's an ordinance. Because before they're popping up, we have no ordinance saying, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, and because there's nothing in place. So it's more for not really allowing it, but to have something in place that if it gets out of control, we have ways to handle that. That's what this ordinance is for. It's not
Checks and balances.
Yes,
type of
it's
deal.
more not like we're not gonna give you permission. It's just more to have something in place because I know they're common. I know during the weekends people come up, they sell things, like nonprofit kind of stuff. Of course, like that pretty much you don't need a permit, things of that nature. But things that of this nature, I think it's something that we need in place.
But who would oversee that on a weekend?
On weekend, we could have the code enforcement guys come work on Saturdays to flex their schedules.
No, I was asking, like, would this be like a daily permit, or like, let's say they're gonna be out there
Say
every
like say
weekend, or?
you have like an event and like you bring in vendors, like a 3-day permit. It'd be like things of that nature.
Yeah, but like you were saying, like Easter and stuff,
Like
or Mother's Day, stuff like that, where they just pop up.
Like if you're, like I said, if you're alright with it, like I said, it's not saying that we're allowed. It's something that y'all come and you know what, it's okay, but at least we have something in place to get a permit to be more like a.
I see, you know, special events like Easter eggs. I don't think we have a business here that sells Easter eggs, this and that. I would have an issue, and this is just me, again.
Understandable.
I would have an issue with having built up my flower shop, and then somebody just comes in on days where special events and where most flowers are sold during
Like I said,
special
Mayor,
events.
we don't have to allow this. Like I said, this is more just to enforce. Like they keep on popping up. We don't have to allow this. This is just protection that we have to kind of curtail on these kind of businesses because we say, you know what, it's an ordinance, you can't be out there. It's really more for not allowing this.
For not allowing
it.
Oh.
If you know what I mean, it's not, we're not allowing, they just have to have something protection saying, why can't I? And you show them the ordinance, this is why you
Be able
can't,
to enforce it.
to enforce it.
Able to enforce. You cannot just all of a sudden pop
Exactly.
up. and-
Yeah, that's
okay.
what this ordinance says. Like I said, I'm sorry if I came out, oh, we're gonna, no, it's not allowing it. It said being able to enforce, that they pop up everywhere on weekends, and they're complaining, well, this and that, but we show them an ordinance, say, look, this is why this is in place. But there are special circumstances, vendors like that, you have an event, they need a special events permit, things like that. It goes both ways, but it's more for kind of curtailing this kind of things popping up in the cities.
Okay, good deal.
That makes sense. I don't want to scare you there, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Pettis. Appreciate that. Any other questions, comments? I don't even know where I'm at. Number 14.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jackson to approve first reading of ordinance 2025-18. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garza. All in favor?
Thank you.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Pettis. 15, discussion possible action on first reading of ordinance 2025-19, authorizing the release from the city of Donna's extraterritorial jurisdiction of an approximately 36.27 acre tract of land known as property ID 730680, ordering the changing of the city of Donna's extraterritorial jurisdiction boundary map in accordance with said change. Mr. Peña?
Yes, Mayor, Council, Counselor, no different than 12 and 13, asking that we table this until we have a better understanding.
Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir.
So I understand we're just trying to kind of relook at that. You mean, you're talking about the law that automatically allows them to file this request? Is that what we want to look into?
We're reviewing that, sir, but, you know, as we start looking at future growth, the last thing we want to do is release property that has potential for development there, like an industrial, commercial, so we're gonna
Okay.
take a look to see how it is, and we can work
Just
with
to see how
them.
it's gonna fit into our
Yes, sir.
plans as far as, you know, the future growth of Donna, where, you know,
Have a certain time.
restrictions, zoning restrictions, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And while we don't have a land use analysis, we're already prepping for something like that. At this point, you know, releasing property. You know, cities want to annex property, not necessarily release property, and, you know, for a long
Well,
time, we're
I'm,
just kind of letting it go.
Yeah, well, I'm
Uh,
glad you're looking at it. You know, it's just that it's always been, it's on there, we approve it, and so at least, you know, we're looking at it. It's
Yes,
kind of, to look, almost like, to see where we're headed as far as the city, what our plans are.
And the last thing you want, Commissioner, Mayor, is for us to grow, especially, you know, they're removing themselves from the ETJ, but the rest of the people are part of our ETJ, right? And then here comes future growth, we start doing great.
Yeah.
Now they want to be incorporated back into the city, but their infrastructure and how they develop that might not be in par
Yeah.
with the city's requirements, and that's gonna make it more difficult or more costly for us to maintain at that point.
When do you foresee going over this item again, or other items similar to this
We're gonna discuss that this week.
week?
And then, again, we'll make a decision, based on our findings, and we have to bring it back in the following meeting, and so be it, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. I'd like to motion to table item number 14. You want to table it? for-
15.
Oh, I'm sorry, number 15?
We have a motion by Commissioner Lugo to table ordinance 2025-19. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 16, discussion possible action on approval of a network switch purchase for the library to be funded through a TML insurance claim associated with storm damage incurred in March. Mr. Peña.
Mayor, council members, during the storm, we had a power outage and then unfortunately power surge to the library, which houses our main frame computer, I guess you want to call it. It's our big switch, our network. And so this is something that's been worked on by Mike Estrada, our IT director. We've gotten word from the TML insurance that they're going to cover it. Unfortunately, it comes at a cost of how much?
1471,
14,000.
781.
781. And so anything that's over 10,000 needs council approval.
What is it? Is it the switch? What is it? Like
A switch, a network switch that we have at the library. The main one at the library just stopped working that day. We had a lightning strike.
The main
We-
internet switch,
we
or the
had
main
the-
internet cable goes in there, and it's a switch to give you more access. for more.
Distributes the network out
It's
to the
got
rest.
burned out?
Yes, sir.
Lightning strike? Yeah.
That's weird. It turns on, but it doesn't do nothing after that. And we checked it out, and the insurance will pay for it, so.
But due to the cost, again, we gotta run it through council.
Yeah,
Wait.
I'll motion to approve that item.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Rule, we have a second by Commissioner Garza. All in favor?
All right.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mike. 17, discussion possible action on interlocal cooperation agreement between the city of Donna and the county of Hidalgo for mutual aid. Mr. Peña?
Mayor, council members, it just seems that it was just the other year that I was here presenting this item on behalf of the county. But this gets renewed every 4 years. It's a mutual aid agreement that allows us to work with county and county work with us. Again, we've gone into agreements more specifically recently Midway Road, where we're engaged with the county, because it is an interconnecting county road. We were able to offset, and that road alone would have cost us over $1 million. Had we engaged the city of Wesco instead through a mutual aid agreement, we were able to engage with Precinct 1, the city of Wesco, and ourselves. We did the cement portion of it, while the city of Wesco put up the monies for the material, and Hidalgo County Precinct 1 came in and paved it. So huge cost savings for the entire region, right? The neighboring city, Wesco and Precinct 1. It also allows us to flex mutual aid during natural disasters, as you guys are aware. We depend on our partners, Precinct 1 and Precinct 4, Ms. Eli Torres, in providing MOVAC trucks and providing support. So this agreement allows for that. And again, it's been 4 years. It's now been brought up. Proud to bring it up now as a city manager for this amazing community, right? But that's all it is, Mayor, Council, just a standard mutual aid agreement. The fees are based off of FEMA rates. In the event that we go into special projects, for example, if our paving crew or paving machine were to go down and we need to do some paving inside the city with this agreement, they would just charge us the vehicle usage according to the FEMA hours and the personnel. We have personnel, so we would be able to man that machine and continue the progress. Same thing goes for an excavator, a truck, or this and that. And yes, we continuously continue to support each other as we're hauling caliche. We've had times where Precinct 1 calls us, they'll send us an email, they're executing mutual aid. We'll transport caliche for them, especially on a big road, they just don't have enough equipment because they're the county, right? They're strained out. And vice versa, when we need support, we call them. They come over. So, yes, sir, it is a mutual aid agreement and it's up for renewal.
I have definitely seen, and I think we all have definitely seen the collaboration between the city of Donna and Precinct 1 with David Fuentes and Precinct 4, Ms. Eli Torres. So I think this is a great idea. This is an action item. I need a motion.
Motion approved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jackson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. No executive session. 2 meetings in a row. We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Garza. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Moreno. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you all.